Hey guys, today's video is going to be another Poshmark Q&A. Before we start the Q&A, I wanted to give you guys an update. I'm going to talk about Poshmark's response to me. If you're going to get pissed off and say, you're dragging this out, you're beating a dead horse. Like, first of all, whoever came up with that phrase, because that's like, I don't know, I don't like that. So the first thing I wanted to read to you guys was an email from Poshmark. And this was sent to me by one of my subscribers, so thank you. This person said, basically asking if Vendoo and List Perfectly were considered third-party sites, applications, whatever, and Poshmark replied, Poshmark is not affiliated with Vendoo or List Perfectly and are therefore considered to be third-party. So you hear that, List Perfectly? Even Poshmark is calling you third-party. Sounds like, I don't know, there's like bad blood or something. Like, I don't know. But List Perfectly is like, oh yeah, we love Poshmark, we're best friends. And Poshmark's kind of like, who are you? Basically is what I'm getting from all this, which is very strange. Poshmark got back to me, so I wanted to tell you guys what they said. Okay, so their first response to me was, thanks for getting in touch and apologies for any confusion. Please note that Poshmark is not affiliated with or endorse any third-party posting sites, so we recommend using your discretion when curating any third-party software for managing your closet and make sure that it doesn't violate our terms or community guidelines. As a reminder, our guidelines state that we do not allow programs or other forms of automation to participate on Poshmark. This includes, but is not limited to, liking, sharing, following, and unfollowing. Okay, and then I sent them an email back, and I was just like, okay, because that's still kind of vague, right? I said, can you please give me a yes or no answer? As there is still a lot of confusion, and it's very frustrating. Does List Perfectly and Vendoo violate Poshmark's terms of service? And they got back to me last night and said, thanks for your response. We completely understand your frustration and we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience. Unfortunately, we are not familiar with the technology behind Vendoo or List Perfectly products. Therefore, we cannot specify for these services. However, per our terms of service, in connection, and this is in quotes, this is directly from their terms of service, in connection with your use of the service, which is Poshmark, you shall not engage in or use any data mining, robots, scrapping, or similar data gathering or extraction methods. If Vendoo or List Perfectly use these methods, then they would not be allowed on Poshmark. Okay, so first of all, it's kind of weird that they say we're not familiar with them because wasn't List Perfectly at PoshFest? Is that like a rumor or is that true? Can somebody clear that up for me? I didn't go to PoshFest last year, but people are like, oh yeah, they're affiliated, they were at PoshFest, that's why they're allowed. But Poshmark is saying, no, we're not affiliated with them. We don't know anything about them, is pretty much what she's saying. So I'm so confused. List Perfectly does extract data from the Poshmark website. People are gonna argue with me, but you know what? I'm just done. I really am. I'm trying to help you guys out, and this turned out into a, Vanessa, you're such a bitch. Like, I don't know how this got flipped around and I'm the bad person here. Like, I don't know. But I really think some of the people commenting on my previous videos like work for List Perfectly. Some people are fighting like tooth and nail for them, and it just seems a little odd. I also wanted to mention this. I got a comment from someone that works at Vendoo on my last video, and it says, hey Vanessa, this is Ben from Vendoo. Thanks for your recent videos on this topic. We understand where you're coming from and want to help figure this out also. Just to be clear, we are a third-party software that resellers could use to list their items onto Poshmark. We are not a bot in that we do not automate listings in any way. As for Poshmark, we are confident our users are safe using Vendoo. We've reached out to them just to confirm our standing and we'll wait to hear back to be sure we're telling our users factual information before posting up anything. So I thought that was cool that they like replied directly, even though I didn't really talk about them because like I said, I don't know much about Vendoo. I had messaged them on Instagram and I hadn't heard anything back from them, so that's why I didn't mention them in the video. But I like that, you know, they reached out to me and they're like, hey, we reached out to Poshmark too because, you know, we're confused too. And they acknowledged that they are a third party, unlike List Perfectly that's still like, we're not third party, no. Like, well, this is gonna be the last video that I talk about this because I'm just done with it. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. You know, it's your business. If you want to risk your business, go for it. It's not very intelligent, but go for it. I'm done trying to help people use common sense when it comes to their business, I guess. So on to the questions. First question, can a vintage shirt be from a different country and still be vintage? Like if it has all the other signs, but it's from a different country? Yes. Yes, it doesn't have to be made in the United States. I have a video talking about vintage t-shirts, specifically like how to spot them. I will link that video down below if you're interested. But yes, absolutely a vintage item can be from another country. Okay, next question. Have you ever had any experience selling Lularoe items? I'm new to Poshmark selling and have a few of their dresses for sale. I've noticed there are a lot of these dresses online and at Goodwill. I just Googled the company and read about a few lawsuits and other drama. Does this mean these items are not worth reselling? Has everyone abandoned the Lularoe ship, so to speak? So I stay away from Lularoe because of a lot of reasons. I find it at Goodwill and other thrift stores all the time because I feel like a lot of people just like dumped their inventory there. Once shit kind of started to go down with Lularoe, I feel like their like distributors like kind of jumped ship, like you said. So yeah, I find it all the time, unless it's, and somebody replied to your comment, unless it's like a unique print, a holiday print or a Disney print, I would stay away from it just because it's not really worth it. One thing I do want to add though is I didn't know Lularoe had jeans. I picked up 2 pairs of Lularoe jeans at the thrift store a couple weeks ago just to see how they would do, and surprisingly they sold within a couple days. But honestly, unless I find like those exact type of jeans again, I will probably just stay away from Lularoe altogether. Next question, do you ever have trouble actually selling your thrifted items? Like, have you ever bought something with the intention of reselling it and then ended up keeping it for yourself? I find this happening to me all too often. Yes, that has happened to me a few times because I tend to, like when I go thrifting, I tend to gravitate towards items that I would like myself. And then I kind of like pull myself back and I'm like, no, Vanessa, you gotta just open up your mind. So the majority of the things that I have in my Poshmark closet are things that I would wear myself. There have been a few times where I've liked something and I've kept it for myself. So yes, I definitely am guilty of that. Next question, have you heard about the drama with the copy listing feature? What are your thoughts on it? So I have, and honestly, I'm not even gonna get into it. I just don't want to. If you don't know what is going on, basically Poshmark has a feature where you can copy a listing, and people were using that to relist their item. Because when you did that, it would show up under just shared. Well, Poshmark changed it so it doesn't show up under just shared anymore. And people are pissed about that. So yeah, so that's basically what's going on. I don't want to say my opinion about it. I'm just gonna let that one, just let it go. Last question, do you think people really care about packaging? All right, so I found that there are a couple of different types of people on Poshmark. There are the ones that expect everything to be packaged very nicely with a bow and wrapped and sealed with a kiss, with a thank you note, maybe a little extra treat. You have the ones that are like, no, save the environment, don't use any extra packaging, you know, don't use anything. I mean, hey, I can even meet you at the end of your driveway and you can give it to me. You know, like there's people that think, you know, less paper, less waste is better. And then you have the ones that are just like, you know, just package it nice enough to where it's not going to get damaged. That's the kind of buyer that I am. Like I don't really care about anything else. Just make sure it's packaged so it doesn't get damaged. So yeah, so those are my thoughts. The way I do it is I'm in the middle. I just make sure it's packaged so it doesn't get damaged. I don't include a thank you note. I have thank you stickers, and yeah, that's it. No extra gift, nothing. Sorry, I make too many sales to be able to give everyone gifts. So thank you to my subscribers that have stuck around through all this, the ones that know my intentions for making these videos. I wanted to get to the bottom of this, and honestly a big F you to the ones that have unsubscribed, because clearly you're new to my channel. Like some people are like, oh, the swearing, you don't have class because you swear. Like that is the dumbest thing. That is the dumbest thing. It's a word. It's a word. Okay, so that is it for this video. I hope I answered your questions. If you have any other questions, you can comment down below. Send me a DM on Instagram or tweet me on Twitter. If you're new to Poshmark and you want to sign up, you can use my code. It is KeepinItRad. You get a $10 credit, and I also get a $10 credit. So thank you. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in my next video.